Okay, here we go again, and I've turned the page on our sketchbook, and we are continuing with some faces and heads, and just meandering around with no particular aim, which is a nice place to be, stress-free, and just kind of scribbling out some faces, and hoping to build on some of that practicing I had been doing in the past. Not sure what I'm doing. Just filling out a face. That's all. That's all I'm doing. Um, and then adding some garbage to it as I go, some flourishes and extra whatnots to make it visually interesting. Not really going for any finished piece. I guess at this point, it's been a while since I've worked on a complete finished illustration or image for any particular purpose, and maybe I gotta change that up a little bit. But I've been trying to spend a good amount of time, a couple months here actually, just kind of honing my skills in an attempt to get better. I don't think there's any plateau of attainment of perfection. There's a lot of better people. There's a lot of good art out there, and I am super duper grateful for everybody who's bothered to stop by and watch, and that's humbling, honestly. And I'm running out of pages in the sketchbook, really, and it might be time to get a new one. What I think I'll do is end of the year, or when I finish the sketchbook off, if I make it to the end of the year with the sketchbook, or actually just at the end of the sketchbook, flip through it and do a retrospective or a sketchbook in review. I was gonna say year in review, but maybe I'll finish this up before the end of the year. 6 more pages, I could probably do that, especially at the rate I've been going. There was a time when I would maybe crack the sketchbook open once a month, but fortunately I've had a bit more free time to pursue this endeavor. And I am thinking, as this thing unfolds, of making some kind of crystalline structure around this figure, and I don't know why. I like the notion of the crystals. Just they always have that magical aspect to them. Maybe not necessarily in the new age sense, but I guess that's a thing unto itself. But more like as a wondrous, mystical object. Like I don't know if anybody's ever seen. This is old stuff, and this is more of my personal influences. Is the Boston album covers. There was one of their album covers I remember staring at. My brother had it, and I would just stare at the album cover of the ship flying over crystals, and it was just an amazing image. It, really created that sense of wonder as this impossible or very unlikely craft shaped like a guitar that had a domed city and it hovered over these crystals and shone these spotlights. It's such a beautiful painting. And I've always heard rumors that there was a different different album sleeve that had actually had the plans or sort of like a blueprint of that ship in there. But the publisher changed and it was removed from the interior lining of the album when they were vinyls. I think vinyls kind of made a bit of a comeback. I see them at the Walmart, the vinyls. I guess you'd have to reinvest in a turntable and whatnot. Right. And just throwing some more figure practice on here. I don't know why. Just trying to get it down by rote. Because it would be so awesome to get to a point where you could just do this, and people do, obviously. They do it on command. They can just create these amazing images without struggling, without this little bit of thinking and erasing and double checking and checking your proportions. It's just almost reflex. It's muscle memory. And I don't know how else to approach that other than doing this over and over and over and over. And I've read different things and saw different approaches to it where they say that might not be the best way to do it, but it's what I'm going with. And I might be getting some better results over time doing that. I'm noticing it's getting a little more fluent, a little easier. I'm just kind of hoping it translates on the paper that way. And this drawing literally was a turn of the page from that last one we just watched for that last video. Working on that raised arm over the head, where that shoulder sort of creases into the neck when you reach out. Doing that right there. Enough. Oh, I keep going. So I might have done this a couple days ago, and I'm remembering. Oh, get rid of that. Oops, what's happening here? So we already have something started on the next page, which may be worthy of a video. We shall see. But in the meantime, we'll just finish up this. And I almost get a finished piece out of this, I think. Oh yeah, I continued using the ballpoint pen to try to get some black lines. Got a little hooked on it. The ease with which you could just lay down a solid fat black line with the ballpoint pen. It's great, man. I used to doodle and sketch with pens all the time at work, during meetings or whatever. Sitting in a 2-hour meeting, I would start drawing the people in the meeting. Of course, I did not show them or let them know that I was doing that. I always remember this one dude looked like he looked like Kim Jong-un's father. He had that hairdo like he did, and Elvis shades like Kim Jong. What was his name? Kim Il Sung, I think. It's kind of kooky, I know. But I was fascinated by these people who I worked with. Everybody, as ordinary as we all are, they all have their own unique personality and a look that sort of fit that personality. This is my attempt at a batch of crystals. Smooth, unrefined crystals, or uncut diamond-ish crystals. So I'm not sure what, like I said, I'm not sure what I was going for here. I'm just drawing, man. I'm just throwing on lines, really. It kind of looks like, you know, she's getting swallowed up. She's getting swallowed up by, this figure's getting consumed by this bouquet of crystals, or emerging from it, or it's ever evolving. It's unfolding, like some of that unending or that ever zooming AI art, just kind of wild. I like watching that stuff. I love watching the AI art. I've been messing with Stable Diffusion, and that took a little bit to get set up. Boy, did that ever. A lot of digging around and learning some Python, so you could dig through the code and understand the errors. There are some setups now where they have it where you can just kind of click the setup or the bat file, which will establish the Stable Diffusion and the interface on your computer, which I found after much struggle, but there was a lot of learning going on there, and I appreciate that fact. But I think from what I've been reading about it is you just kind of have a mathematical formula, which is the basis of how the AI is pulling out the image. The AI, it's so crazy to think about. So that mathematical formula is going to be influenced by the models that you have, and then the process is going to create like a fog or a noise, and it's going to pull out an image from that noise as it's influenced by the given model. So you can create a model of your own images and have the AI or this algorithm that is the AI pull images out of the fog or that noise. It makes me think of like how we see pictures or come up with pictures out of clouds or something. When you're staring at a cloud and you see a puppy dog or a face or a person or a dragon, is it us pulling out, we're referencing this visual bank we have in our head and applying that to what we see in the cloud? Sort of. I might have that all wrong, so sounds nice though. It's been fun to play with, and it gets kind of addicting too, because the images it makes are kind of in line with what I'm thinking or want to see, but they're better than I could make. And I guess you could really see at some point you're just kind of like, yeah, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to let the AI do it. Anyway, if you stuck around this long and watched me draw and listen to me ramble, I do appreciate it. If you want to stop by again, we'll definitely be doing this again. All right. See you later.